How many times in Excel you did your report, you have a pressure, you need to print it quickly, and then you press on print, and then you get something like this. So you have one page with a cut graph, then you get a second page with part of a graph, and then a third page with also cut graph. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you all the best practices for printing, and stay till the end because I have a bonus trick for you on how to print big report. So let's go back. First of all, here we have some data and we have a couple of graphs. So to print, you do Control P. When you do Control P, you get to this page and then you have a few options you can change. So the first thing you can change is the orientation. Here we have portrait, we can do landscape. As you can see, now some of my graph is fitting better in the sheet. The second thing you could do is the margins. So here I have this kind of margins. If you want, for example, you can make them narrower, so you get this. And then you have scaling, so you can fit to one page, for example, so everything becomes in one page, or you can do custom scaling. So you go to this and you say, for example, I want one page of width, and then I have 2 pages tall. So I do this and you can see that my graph starts fitting better. So this is how to fix a little bit your report from here, but to be honest, I prefer to fix it from a different place. I like this page layout. So under page layout, you still have your margin menu that we saw there. You still have your orientation that we saw there. And then you have many other options. So the first one is if you want to print grid lines, you can just tick this. And if I do Control P, you can see that my grid lines are here. So we're going to untick this. And then I'm going to show you that the 1 page of width and 2 page of height is here. So you can change this. For example, you can do 1 and 1. And you can see there is this scaling thing. If you do 1 and 1, the scaling is 54, which is not good. It means that the report is too small to read. What you want is something that doesn't scale too much, like this, where you can read the report. So this is how you can play with scaling and so on. And there is also a menu here. If you click, you'll have the portrait and landscape option. You'll have the scaling option where you can play with scaling, fit to, and so on. And you got all the margins here. So you can select different margins on the top, right, bottom, etc. and some other options. Another thing I want to show you is sometimes you don't want to print everything on the page. You just want to print, for example, this data. So you select it, you do Control P, and then instead of print active sheet, you can do print selection. And as you can see, you just get this data for printing. I'm going to put it back. The problem with this approach is that sometimes people will forget to do this, and again you'll hit the print button and then you'll get the data that you don't want. So how to set this forever? You can go to print area and then you click here, you do set print area. So now without me doing anything, if I do Control P, I can get automatically this set area. Again, we're gonna unselect this. So we do print area, clear print area. I'm gonna teach you how to insert breaks. So assume that here I want to print my data on one page and then my graphs on other pages. So I can insert a break. For example, I come here, I select row 20 and I do breaks, insert page break. If I do Control P, you can see that now my data is in one page and then my graphs are in another page. So this could be useful because here, for example, your graph is cut. So you want maybe to put your graph in another page, so you can add another page break. The other thing that is a cool thing to do is to go to view and then you do page break view, so you can see where you have put a break. So for example, if I want to add another break here, I go here and I do page layout and then insert page break. You can see I have another page break and I can start playing with it. So for example, if I see this, I can just make it move down, and then when I print, you can see that my graph comes like this. And for example, if I do something different, let's assume that I move this here, I do Control P, you can see that I get part of my data here and the second part here. So now we go back to the view, normal view, and then we can do page layout. Let's remove all page breaks from it. The next tip I'm going to teach you is with this report. As you can see, I have some data from January 2020 till December 2021. If I do Control P, I have the headers here. Here I have some headers, but then when I go here, I lose those headers. And it's very difficult to know, for example, this 57 to who it corresponds. So how can I keep the headers that I have on top and the headers that I have on the left? Well, it's very simple. What you need to do is the following. You just go under page layout, you click on the arrow, you put sheet, and then you have rows to repeat. So we click here, we click on the row, then we have columns to repeat, we click here, we click on the column, so we have this done. And then if we want to, we can do view, we can do page layout, and then at the bottom, I can do page number, space off, number of pages. So I click outside, you can see I have page 1 out of 2. I go back and I say normal view. I have my report back. I do Control P, and then as you can see I have page 1 of 2. I have the headers here. I go to the second page, my headers are still there, and then I have page 2 of 2. So I hope you like this lesson, and please let me know if you know about other printing tricks that you can use to correctly print your reports.